So I just posted a blog yesterday about asking if anybody has any questions or any ideas for videos, since the list I had of things that I wanted to talk about weren't really appealing to me at that time. One person wrote that they know that I have an interest in Norse and Germanic mythology, want to know if there's anything I could say about good fairies. Well, um, from what I've read, the idea. Well, okay, let's start with this. What is your idea of fairies? Are you think fairies is like the fairy race, saying like you can add trolls and brownies and all those different sorts of mythical creatures into the category of fairy? Because some people believe fairy is um, that there's a fairy race, which means it's not just the little human-looking like people that have little wings and they're like this big and fly around. Everybody has different perspectives on what a fairy is. Some will say that they can change shape and form. Some view them as like cute little, perfect little human-like creatures with wings that are either dressed or naked or nude. Oh yeah, naked and nude are the same thing, aren't they? Some will say that the fairy race includes elves and trolls, um, brownies, gnomes, all those sorts of things. So, what is your definition of what a fairy is? And I'm sure there's way more than what I just described, but those are the two that I'm going for: little baby human people with wings, or a whole race of beings. Um, so, in Germanic and Norse mythology, there really isn't the idea of the little tiny fairies. There's different things like they do have um, giants, and they do have wights, and they do have elves, but they're like called Alf, ALF. And they do have a lot of like some of the similarities from Celtic sort of fairies, but they have a lot of differences as well. Let's say, okay, in like Celtic mythology, a fairy will give you a handful of gold, maybe. You're like, wow, it's a handful of gold. And then you walk away and you realize it's a handful of like moss or something. Whereas if you're given a gift by the elves in Norse mythology, they'll give you a handful of moss. And you're like, what the hell is this? And you want to throw it. But if you keep it, stick it in your pocket or something, when they'd walk away later, they'd reach in their pocket or open their hand and it's actually gold. So it's more of a gift than a trick. So I see them more as, yeah, they're not so tricky, or they don't really mess with you or are naughty as I see the Celtic ones are. Okay, I did make a list so I don't keep rambling. I'm gonna ramble anyway, but I made a list of different things I would forget so that you can of different names of things so that you can look them up. Because I'm directing this towards, I can't pronounce it right, but I think it was Nefaria that asked the question. Um, so here I'm gonna read you part of the list of things that you can look at different mythological beings in Norse and Germanic mythology. So there are the Alfs, ALF, Wights, WIHTS. There's trolls, and then there's different types of wights and everything too. There's water wights and land wights, and let's see, Ethans, and then yeah, there's the light and dark elves, and they have different worlds on the world tree also. So I should do one on the world tree. I'll talk about that too. There's the light and dark elves each have their own world there, or like land sort of thing. Dwarves, and I think that's it. There's different changelings and stuff, but I don't really know if you want to consider those as sort of the same thing. And the only thing that I can really connect them with, that like let's say to Celtic mythology, is say the Seed, I never pronounce anything right, are a lot like the elves, but there's different things with them too. Like I said, with like the idea of fairies and elves. One's I feel like one's more tricky than the other. But with the Seed, I see are like the original inhabitants of Celtic land, so to speak, and the elves I see it the same way. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, because I haven't gone into a huge in-depth study on this, on the different mythological beings. Um, that's how I see it. And just like in Norse mythology, how I view it and how I've been read and taught that the gods are our ancestors, and so basically I see all these different beings as sort of our kin, because they were either created by gods or they were there when the gods were there, or first came around, sort of thing. So we're all sort of family. Whereas I don't think in the Celtic sort of past, I'm sorry I'm comparing it to Celtic, but most people who are interested in different beings like fairies and stuff, it's usually from a Celtic perspective. I don't think they viewed it as that we're all family. I think that they believe that they're actually like different entities, so to speak, that we can work with each other and we can share energy, sort of thing, but that we don't share like a common ancestry, sort of thing to say. So it's really too much to get into the different mythological beings. I could make a huge video on each one of them and talk about some of their stories and their backgrounds and what they're basically known for, just like with any other creature, mythological creature or being or anything of that nature. So if you actually have something specific you want to know about, either I can make a video or I can send you links or recommend some books that you can read. Um, one of the best books. I love this book. It totally got me on the heathen path sort of again. The Elves, Wights, and Trolls. I think that's the title. And then I'm totally gonna get it wrong again. Kvendelf Gunderson. I think he's editor of the Troth too that I'm reading, that I keep having to put down for other studies. So it's taking me forever because the book is like this thick, and I keep stopping to like do extra study on the side from things I find in there. So I had to take a break. So I'm reading Elizabeth or The Secret History of the Tudors, or of Elizabeth Tudor, Vampire Slayer or something. I don't know. It's pretty good so far. So I hope that answers your questions, and if not, please tell me, and that way I can make another video or email you privately, or even on here I can post some links. And yeah, if I have any more questions, I will get another video out. Thank you.